Before there were video games, there were board games. Instead of using a controller to shoot attacking zombies, you sat around a table with other humans and moved small pieces around a board. While board games might seem like a wholesome treat that your grandparents encouraged you to play, they also have a dark past. Some of the cardboard creations have caused quite a stir over the years, due to terrible product design, insensitive topics, or for just being plain weird. But what does it take for a board game to actually get banned? Most board games are banned for their poorly conceived themes, often for being too violent or too offensive. But this isn't the only reason. Copyright infringement is an issue some of us have to deal with at one time or another, whether intentionally or by accident. Sometimes, however, the ideas being ripped off are so blatantly obvious you can't help but laugh, as with this banned board game. In 1975, game makers Land of Legend decided to attempt to make a name for themselves by creating a game for the ever-growing fantasy market. Rather than come up with an original idea, they decided to base their game on an already known and beloved story. Quest for the Magic Ring was an adventure board game designed for 2 to 7 players, aimed at players aged 12 and up, set in the fantasy land of mythical Earth. The game came with a very large, colourful board, with various areas named Elfwoods, Entwoods, the Land of Shadow, featuring a mountain called the Crack of Fire, the Great Citadel, and the City of the Mark. The characters you could play as were named Ringbearer, Gandalf, Ranger, Citadel Men, Riders of the Mark, White Wizard, and Dark Lord. The Ringbearer, Gandalf, and Ranger were known as the Fellowship and worked together as one team. Using dice rolls, players would navigate through the board to reach their end goals. But the routes that players took had to be planned before the dice were rolled. Different players would have different goals depending on their chosen characters. At the beginning of the game, players were given glass tokens to represent themselves on the board. The Fellowship members are given 1 token each, Riders and Citadel men are given 2 tokens, each token representing an army. The White Wizard is given 3 Orc Army tokens, and the Dark Lord is given 4 Orc Army tokens and 2 Black Rider tokens. Players then rolled the dice on their turn to move down their pre-planned route. Players are allowed to use less moves than given on the dice if their planned route stops earlier, but the game may also force players into random event zones on the board to delay their journey or their plans. The goals of the game are player versus player. The goal of the Fellowship is to bring the magic ring, represented by a plastic yellow playing piece, to the Crack of Fire to destroy it, while the Dark Lord and White Wizard attempt to capture the ring in order to bring it back to their strongholds. If an Orc army manages to land on the Ringbearer, they can capture them, holding them hostage until they are able to roll a 1. Black Riders can kill Fellowship members, but must reach them with an exact dice roll. Certain characters are given certain abilities to assist them, such as the Ranger having a broken sword which the player can fix in Rivendell, preventing the Black Riders from killing them. The Citadel men or Riders are able to gain extra armies and characters to assist them, called Faramir and Éowyn. Faramir, however, cannot possess the ring, and Éowyn may be able to defeat the Black Riders if confronted with them. Surprisingly, the creators did not deny their mirroring of The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, stating in the game's rulebook that some of the illustrations were inspired by his work, also stating that the game was made to express gratitude towards Tolkien and his legendary universe. The credits even referenced Tolkien's youngest child, Priscilla Tolkien, thanking her for answering questions for the creators. These credits were not enough to disguise the blatant parody of the characters of Middle-earth, or the story taken from the famous books. Despite the thank yous included, the game was not endorsed by the Tolkien family, or claimed to have any permission to use their work. Due to the poorly disguised names and story, the creators of the game were hit with a lawsuit, leading to sales of the game being banned and copies of it recalled. Because of its rarity, the game has become a collector's item among Tolkien fanatics, but it is extremely hard to locate. Perhaps this is a game that should be thrown the same place as Frodo's ring. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed yourselves. Please remember to like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter and visit heypoorplayer.com.